What's up, you guys? This is technically the second part of two videos. The first one I showed you that you could plot points and then use the Pythagorean theorem, the rise squared plus run squared equals the distance squared between the 2 points. And that was all visual, but sometimes maybe the points are just not plotted nicely, like they're decimals or fractions or something that's just more challenging to represent on a graph. And so we want to go to a formula. This is the distance formula. If I use my points from last video, like -2, 3, up to 4, -5, and I put those points, those coordinates into this formula, I should get the same answer as what we did in part A. I should get 10. So what I've gone ahead and done is I labeled that this point, the x coordinate and the y coordinate are x1, y1. And I labeled that this point, the x coordinate and y coordinate are x2, y sub 2. So that when I go to the formula, all I got to do with the formula is plug them in. We still have, let's see here. You should use parentheses around like the beginning of this one. And so my y coordinate, my second y coordinate is -5. That needs to go in parentheses. And then we're going to continue the subtraction. The y coordinate here is 3. So -3 and, oops, let's get that in red. On Camry, here we go. So we're gonna take the 3 and we're gonna square it. We're gonna add to it, the second x coordinate over here was 4. So I'm gonna put in the line with the distance, put a 4 right there. It's still a minus, there's still a minus from the formula, so you can't leave that minus alone. But when you look back over here at x sub 1, it's a negative number. So we should put that negative number in parentheses in the formula. So there's a -2 gonna pop in right there. And finishing out the formula, nothing else changed, so I'm gonna leave it as, the coloration that's there. Square root everything. Now, when you look at this one, we're gonna simplify using the order of operations. Order of operations would be like, do the stuff in parentheses first. So -5 minus 3, which happens to be -8. It's in the parentheses, so because it's in the parentheses, it still has to be squared. And we're gonna add up and move on to the next group of parentheses, 4 minus -2. Remember, subtracting a negative is the same as actually if you were adding those two numbers. So it's technically 4 plus 2, and that would make a 6. Simplify that expression. We're still square rooting, and we're still squaring and adding what's there. So here's our expression so far. -8 squared, well, a negative times a negative is a positive. So this is actually the same as 8 squared, and the negative did its thing when it was squared. So we have 64. 8 squared is 64. Then 6 squared, it's already a positive 6. So 6 squared is 36. That's the 2 in action, the square in action. We're still adding, we're still square rooting. 64 plus 36 is 100. So we have 100 and haven't messed with the square root yet. Remember, it's an order of operations problem. The square root of 100 is 10. That's what we got from the other one. So pick your favorite method. Sometimes the formula works really, really well. Sometimes graphing it and seeing the picture on some sort of like paper would also be really helpful for you to see it too. Thank you for watching this video, and stick around for more.